think we have like 100 and something classes. So you could come out with a Mini that has an 850cc motor, or you can have a specially constructed car that's capable of 400 plus miles an hour, and anything in between.
In this organization, we do not let anybody that has never driven a race car to go out there and go as fast as they can.
Going back. Yeah.
Okay, we check these numbers here. Okay, parachute, they're all good. They're all in good. Seatbelt, shoulder strap, if you look at them, see if they're frayed, they're all in good order. This helmet's good to go.
You just dial your own level of performance. The configuration is up to you, the individual. That's why every car here is different.
Brake operation, okay, we're gonna check to see steering wheel clearance, okay.
Fire! Did you put it apart?
People like Al Teague want to go 400 miles an hour, so they build a car that goes 400, and there's other people who want to go 150, so they'll build a car that goes 150.
If you've never driven a car down the Salt, I really encourage you, for your own safety, to do a slow speed pass down the short course. Okay. Nitrous oxide system. Okay, the blower restraints. Okay, flywheel shield. Okay, drive shaft sling. Okay, then we look at his tires. Okay, the brand. I believe they're Firestones. Are these Mickey Thompson? Yeah. Okay.
There are two different groups. One that race down in Southern California on the dry lake beds. They come up here, and then there are other groups that come here just once a year. And the people that go really fast, they know what's required in their cars. And we always go over brand new cars very carefully and make sure that they kind of figure out what is going on here and what it takes, because people think, oh, I can just go out there and drive. But
here at the Bonneville Salt Flats racing our B-Fuel Streamliner this year. We qualified yesterday at a speed of 368 miles an hour. My name is Al Teague, and I'm from Brea, California. This is my 30th consecutive year racing a car up here. In 1991, we ran 409 mile an hour average FIA, top speed of 425 in the mile and 432 leaving.
335, 902.
Again, down just a tad. Had a 368 in the final mile.
Like you say, it's been a passion with me because I didn't get married. I stayed single until I could afford to get married, but all my money used to go in the race car.
Waiting for Al Teague on the long course.
I've enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun.
On the long course, Al Teague, car 76.
This is an amateur sport. Nobody gets paid for coming up here and doing this. And in the late 60s, the 1970s, early 70s, there were just a handful of people that come here. It was a small town.
On the long course, this is our fastest qualifier of yesterday and the fastest car on the Salt so far this year.
That has changed, but basically the same small amateur deal has still stayed. Anybody can go out there and run.
Marty? Okay, Chuck, that'll be fine. There is a cone line down that center access road.
Okay, Al Teague. The salt spray is so big we can't see the car anymore already. Moving very nicely down, heading for the second mile. And already the first mile.
In the quarter. 284, 653.
The passion is in building the car and coming up here and racing it against people and going as fast as they do. It's not so much driving it or the speed. I mean, you're hanging on. It's thrilling, yes, but if you want a thrill, you can go get on a roller coaster. On a good run like today, it's just everything's going good. You shift the gears, it's accelerating good. And then about the third mile, you put it in high gear and you just kind of hang on and it's a good feeling when everything's right. It looks easy sometimes. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's fun to do it.
Basically, the cars that can go really fast, they're geared a little bit differently. If you look at like a drag race car, it has a 411 rear end, which means it can accelerate from here to across the street immediately. Where a car that's really high geared, it takes a long ways to get up its momentum to gain speed. So the cars with lots of horsepower and you have a long ways to go, they're really highly geared. That's why you'll see a push truck push them out like quarter, half mile at 75, 80 miles an hour. And they'll put it in low gear and it sounds like they're going because it's so high gear. So it takes a while to get the speed up and the RPM up. And it's like LT who can do 400 miles an hour. It takes him 3 or 4 miles to build up the speed. He goes into a timing light, and they have one at like 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, and he's still building up speed as he goes through there.
Well, when I was, say 9 years old, I had an older brother, and he started buying hot rod magazines. And we started looking at them, and then he bought a 36 Ford, and we started working on it and fooling around. And pretty soon, when I got to be about 12 or 13, I wanted a car too, and my dad said, no, you're too young, you can't have a car until you get your license or whatever. So I always hung around with him and hung around with the older guys, and they always had cars. And pretty soon we started going to the drag strip, and that was a lot of fun. And we got an old Roadster, and we put an engine in it, and we started drag racing. First, in 1960, I started driving. And I just kept going, and we did that, and I went in the Army, and went to Vietnam, came back, and went to the drags, and then I started coming up here, because I met friends that used to race up here. Started running a Roadster, and we started running here, and I just kind of liked this place, and we just kept on running, and 1974, I started building the car I have now.
A belly tank's supposed to fly.
After World War II, the fellas that came back from the war that were racers before on the salt flats needed something that was aerodynamic and didn't have any money, and so they took the fuel tanks off a P-38. A belly tank is pretty much coefficient to 300 miles an hour.
The only thing that was changed from when we run it back at Indianapolis than it is out here on the salt flats, so put a different camshaft in it. But basically the engine is the same size, it's 355 cubic inches. There's 16 different sensors off the computer. It gives you individual exhaust temperatures, throttle position, rear wheel, front wheel speed, gives you oil temperature. Small block Chevy. It's got Cosworth pistons, Cosworth rods. It's got Rodex cylinder heads on it, Vertex magneto.
And in 1957, the Markley brothers built this car. Their concept was that they wanted to lay down inside to make it more aerodynamic.